Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Yesterday we had the video where I talked about how the World Championship is structured. And today we had the next pre-qualifier, I would call it, because today we had the open qualifier for the ESL 5v5 one. So we had two wars which I want to talk about, and which I like, where I want to show you guys a couple of attacks, and then obviously the next days I will maybe show a couple of bases for you guys so you can use them in the next Clan War League, for example. So what we should do is let's jump into our Warlock, because obviously it's not about if we won, because otherwise the video might be not out. So we won our first two matches, which was first against Just Outlaws and then against Trent. And both wars were pretty close. Like, both our opponents were not bad, pretty good overall, especially Trent. Like, huge shout out to them. Like, they did really good, 93% on average and a 12-star. They got us really sweaty, really sweaty. So let's take a look at the first match. Overall, the match statistics, we won both of the matches with 13 stars. Overall, Maxi and myself went perfect, like 2 out of 2 in both attacks. Jack and Nick went 1 out of 2, and Lex had a little bit of bad luck in his attacks. But still, I want to show you guys as many attacks as possible from those wars. And the first one is going to be from Nick. And whenever we're talking about Nick, you guys know it already, we're talking about LaLo. He's crazy good with this LaLo. And I want to talk about a little bit more about LaLo overall, because so many pro players are preferring to play LaLo at the highest level. Obviously, LaLo is one of the most difficult things you can do in Clash of Clans. The reason behind that is you have to concentrate on so many things. Zap LaLo, for example, or Lightning LaLo, is a little bit easier to execute because you do not have that many spells. Normally like 3 hastes and 2 freezes, that's overall 5 spells to place. That's not too many of them. On this one, Nick had overall 4 hastes, 4 freezes, 1 he's using for the Sui already, then 1 poison, 2 skellies, and a rage. So you can see already the confusion with all of those spells going on is kinda high. So it's not that easy to pull those LaLo attacks off. But why? Why exactly is every pro playing LaLo? The reason behind is that LaLo is really good against kinda any spell trap placement. The reason for that is that on ground there are a couple of traps which you just can't, like, there's no counterplay. If you're running into a well-placed spring trap, well, you will lose at least 1 miner or Hawk Rider or a Yeti. In LaLo that's different. Yes, you can run, for example, into red mines or into a black mine. That's totally fine, but normally the black mines are getting tanked by the lava hounds. And to be honest, if you can tank one of the black mines with, for example, a loon, that's even better, because who cares about 1 loon if you have like 1 million loons in your army anyway. So that's why it's kind of tricky to defend against the LaLo, because traps are so hard to place. And most of the time right now in the current meta, you're taking down the town hall really early with, for example, the Sui, which means your heroes, or just a Yeti blimp, or like a Goblin blimp, which Nick did over here. So whenever you see, oh, there are a lot of red mines, I should better tank this, just use the Warden ability. Here you go. So you see, trap placement is really hard to do against LaLo. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, the traps are not that easy to counter the LaLo. Completely different to for example, ground attacks. That's kind of the major thing. This is why LaLo seems pretty overpowering most of the time if you see someone being really good at it, for example, as Nick. So this was our first attack, and then, yeah, I got back to the ground thing because we have so many air attackers in our team by now. Like, Lex is doing air. He trained that a lot in Legend. Jack can play air if he wants to. Nick is doing air. Maxi can play whatever he wants to. So overall, we have a lot of air attackers, and this is why most of the time I'm ending with the hybrid plans and with the execution of those. So this was the base which I was attacking, and the thinking behind that was just, okay, let's get into the bottom side with the Queen Charge. Let's try to take that out. The Cocoon is, yeah, flying across, and then the CC is coming out kind of early, which should be alright because we can just use the poison, and so far so good. So now the next thing for me is kinda, okay, let's warbreak the Queen one more time into the Expo, because I wanted to get into the Expo really badly, because this means I can reach the enemy enemy clan castle, and all those things in there. So I wanted to wall break in here, but the wall breaker instead is just running to this compartment, which makes no sense to me because this is open. Like, this is not closed. So I don't know why the wall breaker is not running this way. Either way, this was a little bit of frustrating during the attack because I was a bit confused why my queen would, or like why my wall breaker would go that way. But overall, the hybrid looks really good on this one, even though there are a couple of string trap locations, obviously. My queen is getting the enemy royal champion out of the way, another black mine, which is kind of fortunate, but still, the queen is staying alive for now and can do a lot of more cleanup at the bottom side. Then my hybrid is getting into the base. So far, so good. I'm freezing the town hall and the enemy king together because I feel like the king is being kind of the biggest threat with the town hall together. Then another freeze, and then the warden ability because, well, a warden is kind of jumping, kind of strange. I don't know. Maybe I should have been more, like, maybe I should have taken more risk and said, like, okay, warden will follow at some point, so let's just hope for the best. But to be honest, I was more like, let's hope that I catch something with the warden ability. So the warden is making this attack again close because, well, the warden kind of was messy over there. But now the healers are healing at least a little bit, and this was enough for my royal champion and a couple of miners getting to the Inferno Tower. And the most important thing is they're cleaning everything which is around there. And then the two loons, which I saved for the back end, and the warden together are cleaning the rest of the raid because, well, I still have the king and the P.E.K.K.A. alive. But still, this is how we got the triple on this one. It was close, but still, I mean, we had the king and the P.E.K.K.A. alive, so that was alright. The next triple, like the second triple for us, which I want to show you guys. Obviously, like I said, Maxi did go perfect as well. But we want to show his second attack. So let's switch to the second war, and this was freaking close. 96 on every, or like 96% to 93%. That was a close one. 13 to 12 overall, we won this one, and we had a couple of close one attacks in this one. So the first, or like the base number one, I tripled that one, but let's take a look at the second one. So once again, back to LaLo. I said already, we have a lot of LaLo attackers in our team at the moment because it's just so powerful at the moment. And you guys might wonder, Itsu, why is he bringing 6 zaps and then an earthquake, and why is there even a jump spell in this army composition? The reason is kind of simple. You guys can see all of those holes in the walls at the corners, right? Like, there are wall pieces missing. So this makes wall breakers really unpredictable. But that's not the only thing. The next thing, which is really annoying for attackers, is you can't really predict where your troops are going. This is why Just Maxi says, okay, I don't care about your freaking missing wall pieces. I would just go for a jump spell. So I don't care about any missing walls on the outside. I would just jump through the core, and that's it, kinda. So since the clan castle is so far on the other side, you can basically ignore that one. So that's great for him. And then the queen is jumping around, going for the eagle, the next thing, then for the expo. So you guys see already what she took out. Like, the entire side is taken out, which means the eagle, the scatter, the core Inferno Tower was taken out by the zaps. So many value in this one. It's crazy. And now the LaLo is starting. And you still might think, why does he still have a lightning spell left? Like, why would he use the lightning spell now? The reason behind that is normally the normal clan castle combination, and that's why what he gambled for at the moment, is 2 headhunters, then 3 goblins or like 3 archers, and then the lava hound. The unlucky thing for him is that the headhunters are splitting, so he had to kind of invest the lightning for one of them, but the warden is slapping the headhunter in the face. This means he's going down. Next freeze for the town hall. So far so good. Warden is following. Nice warden ability. The top loons are avoiding the explosion of the town hall, and this means this is looking really good for us. Still another haste spell, and this base is completely crushed. Like, there is no chance this base could like defend the rest of the loons which are coming in. And as I said, it's really hard to somehow place good traps against LaLo. That's like the main thing why LaLo is that strong, and what makes this strategy so crazy powerful at the moment. So nicely done to Maxi, really great attack. Let's speed through the rest of the attack. And now let's see one more attack, which was a lightning queen charge hybrid attack, a plan which I came up with for Danny, and he executed that plan really nicely. So let's take a look at that, which is base number 3. And this one looks pretty annoying to charge, but at the same time, when you have those expo farms, you can always zap those. And then with like having so much lightning value over here, or like with having already the expos over there, you should never put an Inferno Tower next to it, because this is giving you just way too much lightning value. So Evecheck is abusing that really nicely, and what he's going to do is going to lightning one of the expo islands with the Inferno Tower together, and then he's going to Yeti Blimp the topside Inferno Tower. What this does is 2 things. First off, he's luring the clan castle, which is great. And second of all, he's clearing the topside Inferno Tower, which is kind of obvious. But what this does, it creates pathing. So his queen is supposed to go to the left, then she's going to go in there, and then you have all of this already taken out, which is creating like a really nice pathing for his hybrid later on into the base. And his queen will like keep going on the left side, like keep going over here. And meanwhile, we have the hybrid on the inside. So that's kind of the plan. Let's see if that is going to work nicely or not. One thing which I didn't know until a couple of days ago is kind of like a small trick if you're facing an Inferno Dragon. If you're not in the base, like 1 million expos are shooting at you, there's a scatter shot, an eagle, and so on. If they're kind of far on the outside, maybe there's 1 defense or something shooting at your queen. If you rage your queen and if you poison the enemy Inferno Dragon, then you do not need a freeze. That's something which is really useful to know. Just wanted to throw that out there randomly. So now the hybrid is getting into the base. King is on the outside, funneling perfectly, nice ability. And now everything is getting into the danger zone. So we have 2 things happening right now. First off, the queen is entering the base. Second of all, well, the hybrid at the town hall. The ward ability was a second too late or too early, kind of depends. And obviously, normally we said he should freeze the town hall and both enemy heroes, which I guess he forgot. So instead, he now has the freezes for the backhand. He's trying to wall break his queen to the Inferno Tower, which is not really working too well. Now he's freezing the enemy single Inferno Tower. So even though this attack didn't really go as good, and you can see now why exactly ground is a little bit worst compared to air, like all of those spring traps, you can't do anything about that. Like, if you're hitting a black mine, the worst thing which could happen is you're losing 1 loon. Wow. If a spring trap can only hit 1 hawk rider or 1 miner, okay, but they can hit up to 3 of them, so that's a huge different story. But instead, this one is going to be a triple, so nicely done by Evecheck, really great attack, and this is going to be the last attack which I want to show you guys. So overall, great start for us. There are many more wars ahead for us, which are next weekend. They're going to be streamed. I hope you guys will watch them, enjoy them, and well, guys, see ya. Until then, and bye-bye.